Welcome to Retrobot, and I'm just kind of doing this. I just got this, and I wanted to show it to you. I know I'm not doing the whole thing. I'm supposed to say, "Welcome to Retrobot, the YouTube channel where we feed a friendly space robot a diet of pure nostalgia." But honestly, I've got this sitting on my table. I just got it from Big Bad Toy Store, and I wanted to show you. I haven't even gotten to play with it yet. So here it is. This is Megatron H.I.S.S tank. So this is the G.I.Joe Transformers crossover Megatron that turns into a H.I.S.S tank, and it comes with a Baroness figure, and you get to see a picture of the Baroness figure. I think it's funny that they make it look like you're looking at it through a plastic window like the old things, but it's just a picture of the Baroness figure, no plastic. So yeah, this is the package, and it is pretty cool. You've got the Transformers packaging on one side and the G.I. Joe packaging on the other, and then they continue that here where you see like the Transformers grid, you know, all 80s-tastic, and the G.I. Joe emblem, and then you look at the back and you see how they've split it up again, where you've got the H.I.S.S tank shown over here and Megatron shown over here, and then nothing really important there, and we've got, you know, G.I. Joe, H.I.S.S tank. Yeah, see, you don't even see the Megatron on there. You just see the H.I.S.S tank, and then you look over here, and it's like, oh, Megatron and the H.I.S.S tank. But they still include the Baroness, which is interesting. So, all right, we're going to open this up, and let me just try and get this kind of out of the way so that you can see what's going on here. So this is a cool package. It slides off in two pieces. So you have your Transformers half over here, and you have your G.I. Joe half over here. That's cool. That's cool. I'm digging that. That's cool. And then we have our top secret Cobra files here. And top secret Hasbro, I don't know. And then it says G.I. Joe 2022 and it has an Autobot symbol. Nothing on the sides, and that's it. So let's open this up, and it's a box just like that. And then here we go. We are opening this up, and there he is in all of his glory. So this is a Commander class Megatron, and I know that any more, you know what, that looks a little bit dim. Let me just make a little bit more light. Oh, that's a little bit washed out. You know, I don't want it too dim. I don't want it too washed out. Let's try camera settings. Let's go here, and we'll increase the exposure just a little bit. So there we go. We have Megatron here, and you can see some H.I.S.S tank parts here and missiles, and I think that this just pulls out. I think. All right, yeah, that just pulls out, which is good because this box is big and in the way. So let's get the box out of the way. There we go, and there he is in all of his Megatroniness. And you can see at the back here, we've got a Baroness figure right here, and we've got instructions that have just sort of been taped here. I think that's accidental. It looks like that's not supposed to be like that. You know, as if I actually care about the instructions. I mean, am I going to look at these? You know, it's doubtful. But we'll just kind of stick those there. And then let's get our hobby knife so that we can free Megatron and the Baroness from their bonds. Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is awesome. Okay, I did not expect that. We actually get a Baroness figure, and she seems to be a full-sized Baroness figure. In fact, I kind of feel like that is a Baroness figure that I have seen before. We may actually already have that Baroness figure. So yeah. Not my first instinct is that that's, oh my gosh. I think that that's like an O-ring style. Is that an O-ring Baroness figure? Wow. If it is, I don't know how I feel about that, because the mold kind of makes her look a little bit like a linebacker, but it is very, very retro-tastic. So that's cool. And of course we've got, like, this is straight up OG. Well, I guess it's not OG. It's OG Real American Hero. Okay? Not OG G.I. Joe, because of course G.I. Joe was around a lot longer than the Real American Hero series. But for people from my generation, this is what G.I. Joe is all about. Not the 12-inch figures. It was the 3.75 figures. It was O-rings at the waist, which, they had their place in history, but I feel like we've got better methods now, and we've got Baroness. So, yeah, that is really, really cool. I'm going to set that aside for the time being, and let's see if we can get Megatron out of this this contraption here. So I'm just going to slice the little things. We got a bunch of little rubber band things and little tie downs, so let's get those out and get that. There we go. And there, and there, and there. And so we've got this part. That looks important. And does he come? Oh, let me get this one. There. Yeah. And his shoulders are kind of shoved through the cardboard here, so we'll just shove them back through as gently as we can. There would be tears if I broke Megatron in the process of getting him out of his cardboard. All right, so here we go, and then we've got, wow, they've really gone out of their way to make this as problematic as they can. So we've got that. I'm sorry, you know what? The camera is not focusing at all on what I'm doing. And let me move Megatron out of the way so that you can see me wrestling with cardboard, because that's entertainment value right there. We've got a fusion cannon up here in the corner, so that is something. I think that I can just unhook that. Yeah, let's unhook that. If you are the kind of person who saves packaging, which I used to be, and some packages I still do. This one I will probably save because it's very spiffy. But when you have as many toys as I have collected over the years, then you get to a point where you just don't have the space to keep saving packages. So I like that this is not glued. I was kind of afraid that I was going to be fighting with glue, so it just folds in, and then we can slide these out. So that is how to get those out without destroying the cardboard insert. And boy, I have a big pile of cardboard behind me right here. So yeah, I've got a bunch of pieces here on my work table, and let's just put those right there, and we will take the hobby knife and flip the blade around for safety. Safety first. And oh, Joy is here. Hey Joy, welcome to my impromptu Megatron unboxing. And also the doctor is here. Oh my gosh, the doctor. I am so glad that you are here because, Time Lords are busy people. So thank you for joining me on this live stream. I just got his tank Megatron, and I'm showing him off right now. So let's see. Fighting with cardboard is the only reason I'm here. You know, it's all about fighting with the cardboard, isn't it? But now we've got this, and I think I can turn down the exposure just a little bit, because, yeah, there we go. So let's try and make him look a little bit more like a finished robot. He's got some stuff going on here. We've got some arms here. He's kind of chonky. Yeah, he is just a bit chonky. Not necessarily bad. So this goes somewhere, and I'm betting. Let's see, where would that go? Where would that? I guess I could look at the instructions. It just seems wrong. Like, that just seems so anti-clay to actually look at the instructions, but I might actually have. Well, okay, so there is what appears to be like a hinge pin connection right there, and I'm seeing something that looks like it fits right there. So I'm kind of feeling like that like goes here. You know, I should look at the instructions before I snap that into place, because if I snap it into place and that's not where it goes, then I'm going to be annoyed. So, all right, here's what we're going to do. We are actually going to look at the instructions to see where it says we stick these parts. So, all right, so we have that, and what is it showing us? Is it showing us anything relevant? It's really not. Like, yeah, I would have expected like the first couple panels would be, okay, where does this stuff go? But that's not what it's showing me. Instead, I can see in the picture that this goes behind his head, so that does seem to be where it goes. I guess there's a back to these instructions. I will look on the back just to see if I'm missing something. Let's see. No, it does not show me like out of the box what the assembly is. So I guess we're just gonna do this. We're just gonna do it. It goes like that. That snaps in there. Really? Is that how he goes? Like, please tell me that there's like a transformation or something here that happens. Can you like, does it spin around and get out of the way? Okay, well that goes out of the way. All right, so no, in order to get his arms, so he's got these panels here and they have to snap down here like that. So okay, there we go. And then that goes right there. And then you've got these shoulder thingies, which could go there. And so there we go. That is a lot of back kibble. I mean, that is an absurd amount of back kibble. I am in awe of how much. I understand that like they want you to be able to put the Baroness figure in here, and you know, for right now, let's just, rather than open up the Baroness figure that's glued in, because this looks like a this looks like a really, really familiar Baroness figure. We may already have this figure, and if we already have this figure, then I'm not sure that I even want to separate this blister from the card. So in lieu of releasing the Baroness from her card, let's use Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern as the Baroness, and we're just going to put Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern in there, and he can stand in for the Baroness. So I understand that this is like a play feature, having it so that you have this turret behind his head. But boy, that's big. I don't like that. I'm frustrated by the chunkiness of that, and I feel like any third party companies like DNA Designs or something are going to try and come up with something to fix, okay, I understand, this should be able to, I don't know, it's, I know I'm not using my words. But you see, there's hollowness in here, and it seems like this should be able to fold in so that when you don't have it as a turret behind his head, that it just folds into something, not just comes off. So I'm already a little bit disappointed at the way that works. Now we do have, let's see, he's supposed to have his fusion cannon on his arm. So does that just go, is it like a wrist cannon? Is it a hand cannon? I think that's a hand cannon. Let's just look. I mean, yeah, okay, so yeah, they do have a hand cannon right here. So yeah, you just stick it on there, and then I guess this is an important piece of, this looks like the back end. That looks like a back bumper, and I guess you stick that there so that he has a shield. And so there we have Megatron in his robot mode, and just looking at that, like it's a pretty good Megatron as Megatrons go. I kind of feel like you can do this, but I guess they're supposed to be down like that. He feels a kind of hollow. He feels very light. My first impressions are that he's kind of lightweight, but he is quite posable, and I'm already, now see, these things keep wanting to come up. They're supposed to snap in, but they don't stay in place very well. So we have that, and then we can, do that, kind of spread the legs out, so you've got bends at the knees and everything. So, he's got some stuff going on, and Ryan Reynolds, seems to like being there. So, that's pretty cool. I guess we need to turn him into a H.I.S.S tank, because, it's right in the name. He turns into a H.I.S.S tank. So we need to turn him into a H.I.S.S tank. That's all there is to it. I suspect that we take this off, and we take this off, and I'm imagining that we keep this on there. I mean, there's half the H.I.S.S tank right on his back. So, that's not great. That hollowness, just not digging the hollowness. G.I.Joe vehicles usually have a lot of hollowness, and this is both a Transformer and a G.I. Joe figure. I get that they have to cut costs in places, but boy, he does have a substantial amount of hollowness. You know, inside the legs here. Yeah, the back isn't quite so bad until you get down here. Like this doesn't look so bad. You know, that's okay. But you know, the cavities down here are just very empty. Obviously, there's a big vacuous void right here, and there's really nothing disguising it other than this giant piece of kibble that you just can't do anything with. And you know, I realize that some people are going to say, well, you know, you have to have a place for the figure to ride. But I'm going to remind everybody that I believe it was during Power of the Primes. Yeah, was it Power of the Primes? No. Let's see. You had Combiner Wars, and then there was Titans Returns. Titans Return. They made Scout class figures that all had passenger compartments when they would transform into their vehicle modes, and most of them had those passenger compartments just form by having the figure transform in such a way that it left a space inside. It was brilliant. And the Scout class figures in the Titans Return line are some of the coolest Scout class figures. I mean, they're some of the coolest toys in that line. So they could have used that same kind of design philosophy with Megatron here. They just didn't. So I still have to turn him into a H.I.S.S tank. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's go here. And so I'm going to start. No, I'm not going to start by reading the instructions. I mean, you know me at this point. But obviously these shoulder things fold out to make the front canopy of the H.I.S.S tank. So we're going to do that. We're doing that. And then we've got these shoulder things that keep pulling themselves off. So let's just let them and do that. We've got the chest, which does something. There's something that happens here. You know how much I read the instructions, so you've seen the amount of effort that I put into getting the instructions. This does pull away from here somehow. I just have to figure out how it does it. So there we go. See, this is part of the fun for me, is figuring it out. I don't like just looking at the instructions first and figuring, and then being told how to do it. I like figuring it out. It's the puzzle aspect. So let's see. There's a little linkage piece here, and boy, that has to do something. I feel like the whole thing has to lift. There it goes. Okay, so this chest is on a double jointed linkage, which you can't see because the shoulder's in the way. There you go. So you see the chest is on this double jointed linkage that had it like this, and so it pulls out like that. You see how that goes? So I suspect that this is going to come up, and this is going to swing around. And obviously these are going to make the fronts of the treads. So let's just put that like that. We've got this canopy piece. Oh, I guess that's the back of the tread, since this is coming down this way. And this is probably going to spin around like that. And then we have to do something here. So I'm going to fold up the feet. And then I'm betting that these just kind of do one of these. Maybe it's something like this. Yeah. This is feeling like something. So you have the legs kind of kneeling. You know, he's kind of kneeling at this point. So he's doing that, and then I guess, oh, there's a hinge pin here. So the pelvis tips forward, and then this is going to, we're going to, I'm going to line these up, but I'm not going to connect them yet because I'm not sure if I'm going to have to undo it in just a minute. Now, it seems like the head is in the way. Is there something that I have to do with the head, or does this do like some kind of funky tuck-in thing? Yeah, there's something going on here. There is something going on, and I don't know exactly what it is. That should, that should, let's see, this is going to have to spin around. You know, in order to, oh, and there's rollers here. There's rollers on the wrist, which means that the arms go down against the bottom. So something flips over. Something flips over. Oh, look at that. Say it, and it will happen. This is where it flips over. So that goes around there. And then I think that, now does this go around here? No, it does not go around here. At least that, I would be amazed if it did go around there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to connect these because I'm feeling a little bit more confident that the treads are going to get assembled like that. And then we're going to have that canopy go there. And then we have to have these come around here. There we go. And then that is going to go here. And then I think that the arms, oh, that's not a roller. That's just a decoration. Okay, well, I was wrong. Okay. See, this is how we learn. We learn by doing. So I think that those go like that. And then this is going to come down like this. Yeah, that's feeling pretty good. And then we have this. What's going on here? There's some weirdness happening here. It seems like this is supposed to come forward. No, that comes down. That goes down, I think. So let's move that down so that actually makes the bottom of this area. And see, now there is a space where they formed the cockpit, or you know, the driver area out of pieces that just leave a space. So okay, they didn't forget what they learned in Titan's Return. That's good. So we'll put let's put Green Lantern in here. There you go. And then this comes around here. And so we're kind of close here. We are definitely kind of close. And, oh, Rob S. is here. Hey, hi, Rob. And he says, well, this is a surprise stream. And it is a surprise stream. I just got this, Rob. I just got this in the mail. And I realized that I needed to show everyone. So, oh, don't tell me that the head peeks out the back. Please don't tell me that the head peeks out the back. I'm going to be really annoyed if the head peeks out the back. So this goes down somehow. It seems like it's getting caught. I feel like this is supposed to maybe tuck in, like, but it just, that just doesn't do what I expect it to do. Now this has to go, oh, okay, so we're running into something. We're running into something right right here. We've got this. Oh, I see. Okay, that has to come forward, and now that should be able to fold down, maybe. So we're what is it running up against now? There we go. Okay, so we've got most of a H.I.S.S tank with some conspicuous Megatron face. Oh, dudes. Oh, seriously? Seriously? So there's some little there's tabs on the side of his body, and then there's little notches, little slots that they tab into right here. And the head, like, can I at least have him face? Okay, I'm gonna turn the head so that he's not facing outside. And then this goes here, and that goes there. Let's just get that out of the way, and let's put Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern in here. Look at that. We got Ryan Reynolds. Ooh, that's... And I think... Please tell me this isn't... Oh my gosh. Really? That's... Well... all right, let's go ahead and we'll put Dollar Store RC in here. So that is H.I.S.S tank Megatron, or Megatron H.I.S.S tank. You know, at least for the most part, that's it. Now, once you have everything together, we've got a very playable H.I.S.S tank. I mean, you know, I'm seeing, I've got the turret here. I like that they put the fusion cannon on top. I like that the guns elevate, the turret rotates. You've got space for a couple figures in here. You know, you can have the gunner up here and then the driver here, and that's cool, and it's pretty much the size of a Cobra H.I.S.S tank. I will be doing a short circuits video about this, maybe even just in a few minutes here, and then I'll try to release it in the upcoming week or so. So and during that video, I will make sure to pull out an actual H.I.S.S tank and compare the sizes. But they really seem like just the the same size. It feels about the same size, and so with regards to making a H.I.S.S tank that transforms. The H.I.S.S tank portion seems pretty good. I don't know. You know, I kind of wish Don were here, because Don was always more of a G.I.Joe buff. He would tell me if he thinks that the H.I.S.S tank mode is worthy of H.I.S.S tank. And Rob says, you're missing something in the transformation. The arms are not tucked away properly. They should end up with the treads. And so, okay, so these, okay, let's see what's going on here, because it is, I admittedly, I did not read instructions. I guess I could look, because they have, like, there's instructions here. Now that I've done it, sort of done it, let's just see if the instructions say where I went wrong. Okay, we have that, we have that. And arms. Oh! Okay. So it seems that the feet stay out like this, and then the arms tuck in like this. Okay, so here we go. So I believe that it does a thing like this, and then they go like that, and I'm losing pieces. There we go. Okay, so that's yeah. Okay, so the feet tuck it up into the arms, which is better. That is better. I didn't really like that the arms were so visible. Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern, stop being a jerk and just get in there. You know what? You don't get to play in the H.I.S. tank anymore. You've lost H.I.S. tank privileges. All right, so there we go, and these go something like that, and there, almost. I probably should read instructions every now and then. Like, there's not even words. It's not even a matter of having to read language. It's just following the pictures and having to conform to somebody else's idea of how this thing should be transformed. There is a right way, though. So I guess I should, should just suck it up and conform. That does explain the hollowness on the undersides of the arms, because the feet fold into that hollowness. I'm really not sure that I still don't like it, but yeah. It's hard to get it. I think that if I had done things in the right steps, it would fit together better, but it's not fitting together all that well. All right, here. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on. So we've got these. These are going to peg into the sides of the body. So that is how that's supposed to go. I guess I don't have to have the head like when you turn his head around, it presses his forehead up against this hinge and keeps things from being square. So I guess I'm not supposed to have the head turned around like that. And then I can put the treads like this, and that kind of locks everything together there. And then this ideally should just kind of close around. And it doesn't quite want to go down. Doesn't quite. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I don't know. All right. So yeah, it sort of does that. It sort of does that. And then we have that, and then you have that peekaboo, and then to cover the obvious Megatron face in the back, you have the shield. I mean, I'm willing to forgive that you take off the back bumper and it becomes a shield. Okay, that's fine, whatever. In normal circumstances, if you didn't have the back bumper and this one plate, it wouldn't be a big deal, except that that's how they've solved the fact that Megatron's entire upper torso is completely unintegrated into the design. That's... this is not a cheap toy. I'm just gonna point out that this was not a cheap toy. And I was really excited to get this toy. I've been saying for years that Transformers needs to do a crossover line with G.I. Joe, and then look, they did this. I mean, they've been crossing over these two franchises since the beginning, really. Like, you had them crossing over in the comic books. They very obviously shared the same universe. The cartoons crossed over. The toy lines were big at exactly the same time, and they felt like they were part of the same universe. So, of course, we as children that grew up during this time, we want this. But I'm frustrated by this toy. Because thank you, Simon. Simon just woke up. Because it's in robot mode, Megatron feels hollow. He feels insubstantial. He just doesn't feel like this is a Commander class toy. And if I were to put this next to Rodimus Prime feels solid. It's weighty. It feels like a high quality toy. And this feels cheaper. The plastics are softer. Some of the linkage pieces are a little bit warbly, and that's kind of disappointing for a toy that like I said it's not a cheap toy. They did accomplish some things that are really cool, like having the same passenger compartments for figures as a H.I.S.S tank. I mean, they nailed the H.I.S.S tank, in my opinion. They really captured it well, and it would look a lot better if I had it transformed correctly, but I've kind of mucked it up a little bit. So, but yeah, my first impressions, having spent no other time with this other than showing you this, are a little bit disappointed. I hate to say that. I hate to say that. Because the potential is so cool. I mean, the fact I expected the Baroness figure to be like a mask figure, something that was somewhere in between like a mini-con size and a full-size G.I. Joe figure. But this is a full-size figure. They did not scale things down, and I think that they added a level of difficulty for themselves that way. If I were doing a Transformers G.I. Joe line, I would do it similar to how they did Titans Returns, where all the figures, they had the headmaster gimmick. Now, I wouldn't make everybody headmasters, but I would give everybody passenger compartments and minifigures in that same scale. So you'd have your G.I. Joe figures, but they would be headmaster sized, and then you could do the entire Transformers line and make sure that every figure comes with G.I. Joe figures, and they would be done, and you'd really need to do that well. Like if you're going to scale things down, you would need to resist the temptation to cut corners, because you're already cutting the biggest corner by scaling down the G.I. Joe figure. Obviously, for this collaboration, they wanted to keep the G.I. Joe figures in the same scale, because, that's keeping G.I. Joe what it is. Whereas I guess as more of a Transformers fan, I would be less concerned about keeping the G.I. Joe figures where they are. I would put more priority on making sure that the Transformers are functional. Like you can't do a Sky Striker like this. At least not without ending up paying like close to $200 and having a Transformers figure that is almost Titan scale, because the Sky Striker was big. It was the size of the Ark, and that just doesn't work. That's why the toy lines have always been so incompatible, even though they so obviously share the same universe. They, that scale component just doesn't lend itself to having them play well together. So compromises would have to be made, and so, but yeah, if you've already got this on pre-order, then you're probably receiving it soon, and this is what it's like, Rob says there's also a tow hitch in Megatron's belly. Oh, yeah, there is a tow hitch. Look at that. Yeah, there's a tow hitch. Look at that. So, you can probably tow existing G.I. Joe vehicles with this. Like, there's pegs here for the figures to go on the back. So yeah, that's it. That is the Megatron H.I.S. tank from the G.I. Joe Transformers crossover. Yeah, if you haven't pre-ordered this and you're trying to decide whether you want it or not, watch this video. Be on the lookout for my short circuits, which I'm going to try and make available very soon, where I can get the transform correct and really show things off properly. But there are things that I don't like. Now, are they things that I would say would prevent me from getting this toy? I don't know. I don't know. But they are things that if I saw this review myself and I knew about that, and I knew about the kind, the okay Megatron mode, but not a fantastic Megatron mode, then I would definitely have to think about it. I would have to have pause. So that's what I'm giving you, is a chance to pause and think about it and decide with an informed decision. So yeah, I guess I'll pick up RC. Poor dollar store RC. She's kind of become the new wheelie, or at least Ryan Reynolds is. I've got a lot of volunteers for the new wheelie position. So that's it. So if you like this impromptu live stream, then and you haven't already, then please click subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so that you know when I'm doing live streams, which could happen anytime. But normally my long live streams are on Friday nights, Eastern United States, 8 o'clock Eastern United States time, as 8 p.m. And then we try to release short circuits, which are standalone videos throughout the week. And we are playing with the idea of making some even shorter form content, and we'll let you know when that's happening, or maybe you'll just see stuff pop up. But it's not going to be TikTok though. I'm not doing YouTube Shorts. I'm just not, at least not yet. I don't think anybody likes it. I'm not into it. So, but maybe something a little bit shorter than this, which is almost an hour. So, yeah. And Rob says, I still find it funny they included the Baroness with this. She had a bad time with his tanks, at least in the original comics. And you know what, Rob, I feel like you and Don could probably geek out over that a lot, because Don followed the comics pretty well. He had the Special Missions comics. But he is at this point, he probably knows the entire story. So I didn't follow the comics. I will take your word for it, though. So, yeah, anyway, also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, or if you're in a position to help the channel grow, then consider joining our Patreon. We do have different levels of support with different rewards as our way of saying thank you so much to all of our patrons, which Rob is one, so thank you, Rob. And that being said, here's a special thank you from the Chaos Bringer himself, Unicron.
Thank you, patrons, our ultimate retro heroes. Thank you, Rob, Fetchbeer, Matt White, Starhound, Setsune Wave, John, Hope and Michael D, and Colleen. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. No antics from Unicron this time. Like, what gives? Is he like phoning this in? I don't know. All right. So this is the Megatron H.I.S.S tank. And I am Clay, and Retrobot is around here somewhere, and he is probably feeling great from all the nostalgia that we get from a H.I.S.S tank that turns into Megatron, even if it's a little bit, just a little bit, you know, kind of. Anyway, so this is Clay telling you to keep it Retrobot! Yeah. That had to happen, and now it's happened, and so I think I can make it stop happening now, maybe by clicking